Okay, thank you. We'll now turn things over to Representative and Mr. Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, committee members. Thank you to my husband of 31 years, Jeff, to sit here next to my side as you have through our entire marriage. And thank you also to my friends that are sitting out in the audience showing their support. Thank you, Representative Whiteford, for your willingness to sponsor this legislation. Thank you, Mr. Whiteford, for the information that you offered to the committee that shows the significant financial impacts families encounter in addition to the emotional challenges of delivering a stillborn. As legislators, we know, we understand, and we appreciate the value of hearing personal testimony during the legislative process. Hearing directly from Michigan citizens, we learn more about what we must do to make the state a better place to live, work, and raise a family. At the bill sponsor's request, I would like to offer my personal story. It speaks to the significant impact of this legislation. It is my personal Christmas angel story. When meeting someone new, someone usually leads to the question about our family farm. Then they say, "How many children do you have?" Without hesitating, I answer, "My husband and I are blessed to be raising 4 children." Then in typical proud mom form, I move on with brag stories about our 3 sons and our 1 daughter. Well, this is what you hear me say. At the same time, in my heart, I am saying something different. We have 5 children. We have 3 sons, 1 daughter, born still, and then blessed with 1 more daughter. Back in 1995, while busy raising 3 young children on our family dairy farm, my husband and I discovered we are expecting again. At a routine 20-week ultrasound, we learned that our next child would be a girl. More than anything, I was excited for someone in my family to be on the girl team, which would help make the male-female balance in our household. Being able to buy girl toys and pink frilly girl clothes was simply the bonus. With an uncomplicated pregnancy and the eager anticipation of our first daughter, we approached my due date. And then we waited patiently for a few more days, bringing us to December 25th, 1995, Christmas Day. In addition to the regular routine of daily chores on the farm, Christmas morning brought some extra excitement, hustle and bustle. Our youngest son was only 2 years old then, and the anticipation of Dad and brothers returning from the barn so he could open his presents made for a very restless morning. After opening presents at home and then traveling a few miles for an extended family dinner, my mother, husband, and I took the 3 boys to the hospital on Christmas afternoon. We were there to visit my father, who had recently suffered a heart attack. While sitting in my father's hospital room with my entire family, the strangest sense came over me. I knew I needed to head up to labor and delivery to simply hear the baby's heartbeat. It was at 4 o'clock that Christmas afternoon when we discovered there was no heartbeat. I remember thinking, I always thought these kind of things only happened to others. Upon delivery, we discovered our daughter was wrapped in her umbilical cord. They believe she passed sometime that morning. My husband made the arrangements to send the boys with the other family members. My mother had to keep her composure in front of my father, as sharing this information was not an option because of his heart condition. They both balanced all of this while standing by my side and making the necessary phone calls. The challenge for me was delivering a baby with a totally different outcome than I had dreamed about for months. It's fairly common for women in this situation to fight the onset of labor and fight against the labor process. The outcome of this delivery in itself brings on a new type of pain. I've also heard too many stories of women having to continue to carry the child that has passed inside her for extended periods of time before the onset of labor. I'm grateful I was surrounded by the people I needed and loved. Delivering her at 11:05 p.m. didn't extend this difficult portion of the situation any longer. Amy Jo Alexander. weighing 8 pounds and 2 ounces. She measured 21 inches long and had a head of full dark hair. She entered this world without a sound, breath, or cry. I delivered her, named her, and then buried her. There's a tradition at the Jackson Hospital where I delivered Amy Jo. The dress provided to me to bury her in was donated by another mother of a similar stillborn birth. Amy Jo's funeral arrangements were for immediate family. A sense of obligation, sadness, and closure was found a few months later when I was able to provide a hospital gown for the next family in need of such an outfit. As a Christian, I know I will see and hold Amy Jo again. As she was born on Christmas Day, I think sharing a birthday with Jesus is pretty special. Some refer to their children that are stillborn as born to heaven or born still. Amy Jo is simply our Christmas angel. Committee members, as you can clearly see, the grief after 22 years is still real. And so are the financial struggles Michigan families deal with in these circumstances. Establishing or updating a nursery, buying baby clothes and all the miscellaneous items needed, the mother's pregnancy and medical expenses, and then the funeral expenses. They can be offset to some degree by this one-time tax deduction. Please considering this tax relief to Michigan families, committee members.